Welcome to today's discussion about a crucial difference between therapy and spiritual relationship coaching. So this is a pretty simple but pretty deep difference. And before I go there, I just want to say, first of all, that every therapist is an individual and that each therapist brings to his or her practice those bodies of work that he or she has been attracted to. And so an individual therapist may draw on more than just the body of work that a therapist is professionally educated in. And so may actually mix in spiritual elements into their work. So what I'm about to say is not at all comment on individual therapists or review of any therapist specifically, but generally speaking, the body of work of therapy compared to spiritual coaching, and these things applied to relationship. Here's what I want to convey. Therapy is based on many fairly scientific studies of how the human being behaves mentally, emotionally, and neurologically, and how all those things work together. It is essentially the study of the ego structure. It's the study of the fallen state of mind. And certainly we need to navigate the fallen state of mind on our way to a spiritual connection, on our way to nirvana, could I say. In relationship, I hold the hope and the practice, and I assist people in finding how to connect with each other with a spiritual foundation. Therapy does not provide a path towards how to connect with a spiritual foundation because it is the study of the fallen state. It's the study of what does the human think, do, behave, feel, and act like when not experiencing their spiritual self. So if you understand, and I believe that this discussion is most valuable and most relatable to those who do understand, do have their own experience of how to connect with the divine inside themselves, whatever words you use to describe that. But if you know how to go to a place inside yourself where you feel that transcendental or that transcendent peace and transcendent love, then perhaps you've arrived at the place where you crave sharing that with a person, with an intimate partner. And therapy focuses on sorting out the weeds of mental, emotional distress and needs. And I personally don't know how to sort those things out effectively to a place of natural rest without a spiritual connection. So from that perspective, I am not attracted to therapy as a solution because I want to go all the way to that place where I can feel love and peace inside myself, and I can feel a bubble where I share that with my partner. So that's the primary difference. And as an illustration, I would like to share something with you because I was doing a little bit of reading about therapy. I ran across an article in Psychology Today talking about emotionally focused therapy. And I was shocked by one of the paragraphs. This is like one of the most successful forms of therapy, but I was shocked by one of the later paragraphs in this article. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, the goal of emotional freedom, I'm thinking emotional freedom technique, that's another thing. Emotional focused therapy. The goal of emotionally focused therapy, EFT, is not just better communication, but a secure attachment. One study demonstrates secure attachment beautifully. Women came into a lab and were electrically shocked while holding their husbands' hands. Initially, these women were in unhappy marriages and experienced considerable pain from the electric shock. After a course of EFT, emotionally focused therapy, however, the women considered the pain only uncomfortable, and the pain centers in their brains were considerably less active when holding their husband's hands. In other words, emotionally focused therapy can enhance the safety and security in your relationship to make your bond a refuge from the pain and stresses of the outside world. When your relationship serves as a source of comfort and soothing, you have a safe haven and a life-enhancing bond that can make the stresses of life seem less painful and more manageable. A more secure attachment will naturally make your communication better, but beyond this, it will promote your flourishing as a whole and healthy person. So I was shocked when I read this. I was shocked to read that one of the ways that someone out there has studied emotionally focused therapy, or at least secure attachment, is by shocking a woman's hand while she's holding her husband's hand and measuring what goes on with her neurology at the same time, and asking her, I imagine, how she felt, how she describes the experience of being electrically shocked. So this is a very dense focus from coming from a spiritual perspective, where you're navigating energy and intuition and the energy of love or the energy of fear, and really like feeling into these energies to discern what the nature is. Contrast that with, I'm going to study how well this secure attachment works. Let me shock somebody and measure their neurology. There's a very base focus. It's science, but it's science in the sense of, let's look at the human being as a material creature, as a bunch of neurons that correlate or are responsible for your mental, emotional experience. It's so incredibly dense. So that's in the roots of where therapy came from. Now, again, the experience of therapy that you have with an individual therapist is moderated by who they are and what they bring to their work. So they can bring more light to their work than the body of work that they're standing upon, or at least this part of the bodies of work, their library. But I was just a little bit shocked about the density of focus in the studies, that people think that they can discern the path to human well-being and relationship potential through such a dense focus on what the human being is and how you can even discern whether you're getting results. So that's just a little illustration that I wanted to share because it was so shocking. All right, so I hope I've communicated the crucial difference between therapy and spiritual coaching and how that applies to relationships. If you know what it feels like to connect with divine energy, divine love in the core of your being, and you want to experience that as the foundation and the quality of connection that you have with your partner, you need to go to somebody who understands how that energy, how to experience that energy. So for me, science is that you can repeat the experience and you can guide someone else in how to achieve that experience. And you can do that with multiple different people, repeatable results. That's pretty scientific to me. And so in that sense, I'm familiar with the science of spiritual experience and how to integrate that into your relationship experience. So let me know what you think about that in the comments. And sorry about my drowned rat look again today. But I didn't want to be late for you. So I will see you again tomorrow. And I had a thought of what I was going to talk about tomorrow, but it's not coming to me right now. So I'll post it in my pinned post a little later today. and I'll talk to you soon.